Hey K-popers, and welcome back to Hallyu. Today we're talking about the girl group Sonamoo, a group who could have been so much but sadly never had a fair chance to succeed. We'll start by looking at how they had fantastic success with their debut, and then look at how their music changed drastically as their rookie era concluded. Next we'll talk about how just 2.5 years after debut there were already major red flags surrounding the group, and finally we'll see why Sonamoo were set up for huge success but destroyed by complete incompetence on the part of TS Entertainment. Boy do I have some strong feelings about TS that are going to come out in this one. Before we get started, I want to quickly thank Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to show off your bias group here, share your pics in weekly videos, and join a vibrant Discord community with watch parties, custom emoji, and more, all you need to do is support Hallyu on Patreon. So, Sonamoo's story gets its start right at the end of 2014, where they were the final debut of the year. At debut, the girl group was composed of the 7 members Sumin, Minjae, Diana, Nahyun, Eujin, Heidi, and Nusan. Sonamoo actually has one of my favorite group name and fandom name combinations, so let me take a quick second to explain it. In Korean, the word Sonamoo literally means pine tree, which on the surface is kinda silly in Korean, but they did something really clever and cute, which is choosing their fandom name to be Solbangul. This is the Korean word for pine cone, and so the group is the tree and their fans are the pine cones that accompany them. Anyways, back to the story. Like I said, their debut was the last one of the year as they came out on December 29th with the EP Deja Vu and a title track by the same name. Deja Vu was a very unique concept for a girl group to go for at the time, especially for their debut song. Other debuting girl groups around that time were almost universally cute and fun, like Laboom, Lovelyz, Red Velvet, CLC, and GFriend. That being said, the girls did a really good job with the concept and exuded swagger throughout the MV. The dark sets and more rap and hip hop inspired outfits set them apart, and their rapping was very well done too. And believe it or not, Sonamoo actually had a hit on day one because that debut EP hit #1 on Gaon's albums chart, something very few debuting girl groups could say they accomplished in that era. Just 2 months later, Sonamoo continued their promotion cycle as they promoted another song called Just Go off their debut EP as well, and everything seemed to be going great for the group. Sonamoo would make their first comeback with the EP Cushion and a title track by the same name. This is my favorite comeback from the girl group. It's so crisp visually, the song is really unique musically, and it really shows off what Sonamoo is all about. In my view, Sonamoo is so talented, particularly when it comes to rapping. There are several members who can hold their weight in rap sections, and in fact both of the songs Deep and Let's Make a Movie off of this EP had rap sections written by members Diana and Nusan. And the concept that was delivered in Cushion really showcases a swagger and cool factor that Sonamoo had in spades. Not long after, Sonamoo would follow up Cushion by promoting a second single off of the EP called Round and Round, and this is where in hindsight the first red flags really started to appear. That's because their rookie era transitioned into a 9-month hiatus before the group would release another comeback in the summer of 2016. This EP, called I Like You Too Much, was a huge departure from Sonamoo's first 2 releases. The song was very bright and conveyed a cute and innocent girl next door vibe that was fitting of girl groups at the time, but not necessarily the group's previous releases. Nevertheless, the cute concept was here to stay as 6 months later Sonamoo would return with I Think I Love You, another more lighthearted and innocent concept. Unfortunately though, we're already at the point in Sonamoo's story where things really start coming off the rails. So even though we're only 2.5 years since their debut at this point, this was the beginning of the end for this poor girl group. TS Entertainment revealed the Sonamoo Happy Box project on July 27, 2017, which would involve Sonamoo releasing 3 singles over the course of the next several months. This started with the song Friday Night, which came out 3 weeks later. Friday Night is another one of my favorites from the girls with a unique funky beat, and the rap in the song was once again written by Nusan. But then 2 months later, it came out that Eujin was going to be joining the unit, an odd move given TS's supposed trilogy of singles that they were planning out. Nevertheless, Eujin excelled on the show, dominating the rankings and taking the #1 spot for girls, joining the group Unity that was formed out of the show. 2 weeks after the unit started airing, Sonamoo's second Happy Box single would arrive in the form of the song I Knew It. This song was another new frontier for the girls as they took on a more Latin pop influence this time. But that was basically it, seriously. There would be no 3rd single in the Happy Box project, and the group disappeared for 2 years. The next announcement from TS Entertainment would come on September 23rd, 2019, which revealed both Nahyun and Sumin had filed lawsuits to terminate their contracts with the label. And while the remaining 4 members would make a CF for the mobile game Legendary Game of Heroes in that year, it was again a whole bunch of radio silence. 2 years later in 2021, TS Entertainment's website was shut down. And just 2 months ago, as I reported in a news video, Eujin has signed with Mellow Entertainment, confirming that she has left Sonamoo. 2 days after Eujin's announcement, Minjae and Nusan both confirmed they had also left TS and Sonamoo. And 2 days after that, Diana also confirmed she had left TS Entertainment. So just like that, Sonamoo had disintegrated in heartbreaking fashion for fans. So what on earth happened here? Well, 2 words, TS Entertainment. If you've seen my deep dive on BAP, it should come as no surprise that TS failed to manage Sonamoo even remotely well. Every group they've had ever under their label, I'm talking Secret, BAP, Sonamoo, TRCNG, even rapper Sleepy, have all sued the label. But I feel like it's letting TS get off the hook in this video if I just lazily say, yeah, TS is a bad company and Sonamoo got dungeoned. So I'm gonna really lay into them in this final section of the video and talk about why it's such a shame that Sonamoo didn't get a chance to succeed, because they really could have been something so special in K-pop. The main issue I see here is that TS simply had no idea what they were doing at any point in Sonamoo's discography, and they had no idea what they had that made their artist so unique and great. Honestly, it's absolutely shocking to me that they couldn't recognize the group's strengths and play into them, and I'll get to that more shortly. When Sonamoo debuted with Deja Vu, it was very obvious what was going on behind the scenes. Deja Vu is extremely similar in concept to BAP's debut, Warrior. The more you watch Warrior and Deja Vu back to back, the more you realize TS basically just said, hey, we made Warrior with BAP and that worked, so let's make a girl group version. And I'm not exaggerating, Deja Vu even has a dance break that is shockingly similar to the one in Warrior. Now you might be saying, but Deja Vu hit #1, they had a great debut. And you're absolutely right, but frankly, given the rest of TS's decision making, I think that was a complete fluke. TS was just doing what they were comfortable with, and the reason Sonamoo had such a great debut is because the group's biggest strength was the rapping. They had multiple members who were very talented rappers and who were writing their own rap sections in their music, and the rest of the group was very good at exuding that badass hip-hop image. That's why I love their first comeback Cushion so much, because that was exactly what Sonamoo could do best. A really unique song construction that allowed a lot of it to be driven by rapping, along with a visual style that let the group as a whole show off with huge amounts of swagger. And what did TS do? They threw all that out the window and did what everyone else was doing at the time, a cute concept with bright pastel colors and typical pop vibes. Now don't get me wrong, there's nothing particularly wrong with those concepts and I love them personally, but when you have such a wealth of talent like you do in Sonamoo, it's a huge disservice to take a hard right turn with I Like You Too Much and make them fit that mold. I mean, you had Minjae giving incredible vocal performances like this one on Girl Spirit. You had Eujin literally beating out 62 other female contestants to come first on the unit.
의진 양입니다. 네, 많은 분들이 축하해주고 있는데요. 유닛 메이커들이
And you couldn't even release the third single in a trilogy releases you publicly announced just months prior? Not to mention, it really felt like TS was starting to add some gratuitous shots like these in Friday Night's MV to try and sex up their comebacks, which really didn't sit right with me. So I'm sure by now you can understand my frustration with TS Entertainment. Sonamoo was a girl group that proved they had all the skills to succeed as a really unique girl group. One that could deliver rap-centric songs and more hip-hop style comebacks better than just about every other girl group at the time, save for maybe 4 Minute. And yet, thanks to the abhorrent management by TS, sadly we will never truly know how special this wonderful girl group could have been. And that is the admittedly frustrating story of Sonamoo. Do you think Sonamoo suffered the most of any group who had the misfortune of being under TS? I think they've got to at least be in the running for that title. As always, thanks so much for watching this deep dive, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss all the great K-pop content coming your way right here at Hallyu. This has been deep dive number 81, Sonamoo.